Well, good morning, everybody. We are here at the church building. It's a beautiful day. I think it's a Tuesday,
I think so.
but it doesn't really matter. The reason we're here is to do an introductory video to let you know a little bit what the church is going to look like, the building, when we come back together this Sunday. Because as you heard last week, the elders have announced we're going to gather together for worship again.
Woo-hoo.
So Sunday, June 14th. Danny, what time?
At 9 o'clock a.m. and we have an 11 o'clock service as well. So.
Yeah, so Danny, you said there's going to be a 9 o'clock service and an 11 o'clock service, and they're going to be different.
They're going to be different.
So
yes.
The biggest difference, Danny, has to do with masks, right?
That's correct.
So what's the policy on masks at the 9 o'clock service?
So the policy on masks at the 9 o'clock service is that you have to have a mask.
Wait, have one? Like I could have it in my pocket?
You have to wear a mask,
To
okay?
wear a mask.
So you have to wear a mask at that service, and if you don't have a mask, we will provide one for you. We'd be happy to do that for you. So that's the requirement for the 9 o'clock service. That's one of the differences. At the 11 o'clock service, though, it's optional. So you can have the mask, but you don't have to wear the mask.
Or you can have it and wear it.
You can have it and wear it, and that'd be fine too.
Okay. So if I show up at the 11 o'clock service and I don't want to wear a mask, there might still be people there wearing masks, but that's okay.
Right.
We're going to coexist in that assembly.
Exactly.
And not worry about it. But the 9 o'clock service, everybody's going to be wearing a mask.
Right.
And we're going to respect that.
Yeah. And that's only if you're ready to come back. Not everyone is going to be ready to come back at that point in time this Sunday, right? And that's okay. That's okay, okay? And actually, we want to encourage you, if you don't feel comfortable coming back yet, don't come. Stay at home. We're still going to be providing our online services on YouTube and Facebook Live, and you can be on the lookout for that as well. So don't feel pressured. We're not pressuring anyone to come this Sunday, but you do have the option if you do want to come. And so just want you to know that.
We want to encourage some of you to stay home. Some of you have a high-risk medical condition that puts you in a sensitive spot. Some of you are frankly of a certain age where it might be wise for you to stay home for a while. Some of you may be uncomfortable for other reasons, and so we want you to know you won't be judged if you stay home. At some point you'll be ready to come back, and we'll welcome you back whenever that is, but don't come back too soon. It's worth mentioning, by the way, that you're going to hear us in this video say a couple times, don't come back until you're ready. And you should know that we're not just forgetting and repeating ourselves. We would actually like you to be sick of hearing that before we're done. The elders really want to emphasize this fact. This is unusual circumstances. We're all going to have to come back at our own pace, our own comfort level. And so come back when you're ready. Don't come back before. So one of the reasons we're doing this, the video, is we want to give you a tour of the facilities. We want you to see the changes that have been made, and we want to thank Monica Russo for heading that up. Making sure we have a good checklist and getting all these things done to get the building ready. It's been a big job to get the building cleaned and ready and realigned and refurbished in a sense, so that we can try to practice social distancing on Sunday and follow good guidelines, follow the CDC guidelines. So as part of the tour, we wanted to start in the parking lot because that's where you're going to start when you come next Sunday. And so Danny, tell me what's going on with the cars here this morning.
Yeah, so as you can see, this morning we're here at the parking lot. We have our cars socially distancing as well. We would like to encourage you all to keep at least one parking space in between your cars. That way we all have enough room to move around and we're not crowded in, right, in the space that we have available to us here.
So really this is kind of where we're getting in the mindset of respect for each other and appreciating that we might all be at different places on the wearing of masks and social distancing and all of these things, but we want to set the tone before we get out of our cars that we're going to practice this to the best of our ability for the foreseeable future. And so let's start in the parking lot. Let's leave that extra space if you can, and I think probably this Sunday there will be plenty of spaces available. And so let's set that tone before we come into the building and be ready to practice social distancing when we get inside the facility as well.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go inside the building. And here we are at the front of the building. And this is what you can expect when you come the morning of. The doors are going to be propped open, as you can see. And we're doing this for the very reason that we want to minimize all the surfaces that you would have to touch. So the morning of, we're going to be having these doors propped open. So that's something that you can expect. So you can just walk through right this way. So let's go see what's changed inside. Come on. And so when you come into the building, you're going to be entering this way. As you can see in that section over there, it's blocked off. You can't go that way, okay? So there's going to be someone at the door greeting you. It's going to be an usher. He's going to greet you. He's going to be bringing you through this way, okay? Now follow me, and you will see, as the usher's bringing you in, he's going to be directing you to some of the communion cups that we have set up here. So you would come here, you would grab a communion cup, and your family would grab a communion cup, then you would enter this way towards the auditorium.
All right, so we've made it to the entrance to the auditorium. Let's take a look at some of the changes that we've made in here, and then we'll take you to look at some of the other facility changes we've made, some adjustments we've made. Come on. Probably a good time to remind everyone that 9 o'clock service is going to be masks required. And that means we expect you to keep your mask on through the entire assembly time, even when we're singing. The exception, of course, would be when we're taking communion. You can lower your mask to take communion together. But we really want to ask all of our members who come to that 9 o'clock service to strictly observe keeping a mask on for the entire time. All right, so one thing you're going to notice when you come in the auditorium is that there's a lot less chairs. We're attempting to follow the guidelines that say that for essential organizations like ours, we can operate at about 50% capacity or less. So we've got about half the number of chairs in here right now. And what we've done is we've measured out 6 feet in between vertically from the back of the auditorium to the front. And so these rows are socially distanced for you. Horizontally, they're not. So ushers will attempt to seat you in an appropriate space. Larger families, we're going to gear toward the middle because there are rows of 6. We're going to gear singles and couples and smaller families, smaller groups, people who want to sit together but have fewer in number. We're going to gear you toward the sides where there's only 4 chairs and ask you to try to practice distancing in those rows to the best of your ability. You may also notice as you come in, if you get up this far, most of you don't like to sit up front. I don't know that that's going to change, but we have allowed a much larger gap now from the front seat to the podium. And so the reason for that is, I mentioned earlier that at the 9 o'clock assembly in particular, everyone who participates in worship, everyone who comes into the building will be required to wear a mask. The one exception to the masking requirement is going to be that we're going to allow those who are leading us in worship to unmask as they do that. So the worship leaders, those who are preaching, those who are leading communion, will take their masks off while they speak or sing, and then they'll put their masks back on when they go back out into the crowd. All right, another thing to notice here, before we walk you through the rest of the facility, is this door here to my right is sort of the emergency hatch exit for a lot of our young families with kids that they want to get to the restroom quickly and easily. But this is actually going to be blocked off. And in fact, our whole education wing is going to be blocked off. So man, Danny, this is pretty nice back here. It's almost done, the new Baptistry. It looks good. We've used it a couple times. But you know, while we're back here looking at this, it made me think, what about people who really want to come back to church on Sunday, but they're not quite ready? What should they do?
You know, I think they should stay home. Really. No one's going to judge you for not coming. No one's going to treat you any differently. No one's going to think any less of you. We all encourage you to stay home if you're not ready to come back yet. So, what's going to be the process when we exit the building? Well, exiting the building is going to look a little different than what we're used to. Normally, we just exit the double doors right in the front of the auditorium. But now we're going to have 2 exits. And the side rows are going to be exiting through this door right here. And the middle row, the center row, is going to be exiting out the front of the auditorium, the double doors. And we'll get to that in a second. But I do want to explain this process right here. The side rows that are exiting out this door will be propped open. That way you don't have to touch any surfaces. You can just walk right out. And we're also going to have an offering plate here, offering bucket here, set up so you could drop your offering off right here. And also we're going to have a trash can where you can dispose of the communion cups on your way out. So now let's talk about the other exit. So if you're seated at the center row, you're going to be exiting these double doors right here at the front of the auditorium, as we normally do. So you'll be called on, your row will be called on, and you'll be exiting these doors right here. As you exit, you can choose to go either way in the exit. You can either walk this way around to go to the front of the building, or you can choose to walk this way so you can go to the front of the building there. Now on your way out, we will also have an offering bucket right here, so that you can drop the offering right here on your way out. And also there's going to be different trash cans available so that you can dispose of your communion cups on your way out as well.
So we have a couple more things we'd like to show you before we finish our tour today, so that when you get here Sunday, hopefully there won't be any surprises. One thing you'll notice when you're here is that some of our areas that we like to use to congregate in small groups and to talk intimately, those have been removed for a while. And so we're going to have to adjust to that for the foreseeable future. So you can see here the couches in the fireplace area are gone. This will be a temporary thing. We'll get them back soon and we'll be able to enjoy this wonderful space we have here shortly, hopefully. But one last thing to show you in terms of how seating is going to go. We do have an overflow seating area. We've revamped Classroom 2-3. The broadcasting studio that we've been using for the last 3 months has been disassembled. Robbie has reassembled it upstairs. We'll talk more about technology a little later. But this space has been set up with an additional 30 chairs. And so if we need this as overflow seating, that would be what we call a nice problem to have. And so we'll play that by ear on Sunday. So when you get here on Sunday, at either service, because of how the seating has worked out, because of who has shown up and where people have been scattered in the auditorium, you may be asked to come and to sit in overflow seating, and hopefully you will make the best of that as well. We will broadcast the entire service on the television, and you'll be able to participate. So we just wanted to let you know that this is available, and we'll use it if we need it. So this is nice, this socially distanced overflow seating. It's pretty nice in here. But for some, they're just not going to be ready to come back yet. And so the elders have had something to say about that. You want to share with the group?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you're not ready to come back, please stay home. We do have online services. We're going to continue our online services. So I encourage you to stay home if you're not ready to come back. Don't feel pressured whatsoever. No one's going to judge you. No one's going to think any less of you. You're not forsaking the assembly. Please be comfortable, stay at home, and come back when you are ready. So you have to use the restroom. Well, guess what? We got you covered. All restrooms will be accessible, and there will be someone standing here to be able to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. But as you can see, the restrooms are accessible, but you can also see that there are areas that are taped off, that are blocked off. We're going to ask that you please respect those areas as blocked off areas. Please don't pass over to the other side of that area, because we're trying to, again, practice all the guidelines that we need to. And so you're going to see different areas blocked off. Here's another area blocked off. So this section over here, we would ask that no one comes to this section unless it's an emergency that you have to go out through that door. We're going to ask that you do not exit that door. Also, the water fountains that we normally have available are not going to be available for the time being.
So this has been the tour, and it's a familiar building, but it's laid out in an unfamiliar way, and our processes are going to be unfamiliar for a while. We don't know how long we're going to be doing this, but our main goal is for us as a church to try to be safe and respectful, and to be together, to be unified. Even though we don't agree on all of these issues, we have different ideas about different things, we are still the body of Christ. We are still one. And so coming back together and being together in any place, at any time, is a significant thing. And we're thankful that we're going to be able to do this starting Sunday. And Danny, I just want to ask one more time, what do you do if you really want to be here but you're not ready?
If you're not ready to be here, please stay home. We have online services that are available to you. You can catch us on Facebook Live. You can catch us on YouTube. Whichever's convenient for you. But please stay home. Come back when you're ready. No one's going to judge you for that. Don't feel any kind of pressure. We love you. Can't wait to see you. But please don't feel pressure. Stay home and enjoy the services online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love you. We can't wait to see everyone.
Can't wait.